So I saw this video on how to make an electric go-kart right here, and I was pretty interested. I like electronics and I like building things, so I saw this video. This guy made a really cool demonstration on how he built and manufactured this electric go-kart, and he used a motor, an electric motor. And then the second thing I saw was this video over here, converting a car alternator into a go-kart. I was pretty interested in that, because at this point in time, I had to make a project which involved me demonstrating ingenuity. So I saw this video and I was like, I was in a dilemma. I had to make an electric go-kart on the cheap. What did I do? I had an alternator. I saw this video and I was like, maybe I can do this. So I saw this video. I watched how he rewired the alternator. I watched all the problems he had. He actually went through the theory of it. It was a really great demonstration video. And then I said, I'm taking engineering courses, I kind of know what I'm doing here, so I can easily do this. And he gave us a nice parts list over here for all the things that he used, And I'll throw the link in the description for all of these. I'll just copy paste it. This is fully his credit to him. So I was just amazed by this. And so I built this project myself, and I thought I would make this video to share with you some of the things that I went through and my thoughts and how it worked. So this was the initial frame I started with. It was pretty bulky and had a lot of metal on it, so I wanted to trim it down, get it as light as I could. In terms of the back of the go-kart, it was a bit grungy and rusty. We had a sprocket and a chain over here that I tried to reuse. The gas motor that was on did come with a clutch and sprocket, so cut off the sprocket, welded it to the alternator. So over here we can see my actual assembly that I did. I made a little bracket that allowed me to shift the alternator up and down, which allowed me to reduce the tension on the chain so I could remove the alternator if I ever wanted to. Getting it lined up was a bit of a challenge. As you can see, we had a nice little structure going on here. We greased up the chain, made it look nice, and that was the alternator. That was the setup, that was good. Now all we had left was the electronics part. So as I mentioned, I purchased all of the items in his list. This is actually the gas pedal that he used in the video. So in the back over here, we can actually see this is the speed controller that he offered. He didn't offer, but this is the speed controller that he used. These actually, I had 4 batteries. I had 5 batteries, 12 volts each, so 60 volts, but I only needed 4 because the cutoff voltage of the speed controller is 40 volts, so whenever I had 48 volts capacity of my batteries, not capacity, but I had 48 volts available at my batteries, and whenever it was cold or if I was punching the throttle, it would dip below the cutoff voltage of the speed controller, so it would die. So I solved this by throwing in a 5th battery, so 60 volts was the initial supply, and it wouldn't dip under that. So over here we can see I had the 3 phases installed over here. These are the same 3 phases that he had in this video. I rewired the alternator in a Delta configuration, but I was a little frustrated at the beginning because it didn't quite work, and he didn't quite explain why, so I'm going to explain to you guys. So over here you can see 2 alligator clips and this black shaft over here, this black cover for the shaft. That shaft cover is this piece over here, and over here you can see there are 2 metal, this is 1 metal shaft with 2 separated copper things. So the reason why he rewired his alternator in a Delta configuration is so that he can run 3-phase power through it and it would work. But 3-phase motors have permanent magnets on the rotor, which is the part that spins, which already has a magnetic field, but unfortunately with this alternator, it does not have permanent magnets on the rotor, it has windings. So we have to induce a magnetic field, and that is why he attached a battery to that. Unfortunately, I forgot to attach the battery, and he didn't really explain why. So when I actually got my go-kart working initially, it was really slow and it didn't do anything because I didn't have any magnetic field on the rotor. The back view, it's kind of messy in the trailer, but if you guys like this video, I can make a more refined video where I can show you the actual go-kart in person, and I can show you all of the features I did to it, all of the modifications I did. It's a lot cleaner than this. I just wanted to post this video because I can tell you, for the reason of telling you that, like, hey, I saw this video, I made the project, it worked, and I just want to let you guys know what happened. Also, another thing, make sure you're using 8-gauge wires. Make sure you're using 8-gauge wires for the entire power line. It's It's a lot of current. I had a 40 amp fuse, I never blew it, but